All right, now we're going to move on to finding the equation from a table. Okay, and this is going to be very similar to what we saw in the graph, just it looks a little bit different. The first question I'm going to ask is it's asking us to find the equation. What equation are they referring to? Good job. They mean the equation, it's our y equals mx plus b. Okay, now the next important thing is there is two important pieces of our linear equation. What are those two important pieces that we always need to find? Good job. Our m, which is our slope, and we have to find our b, which is our y-intercept. Okay, so let's start with slope. I want you to think, what are we talking about with slope? What are the what do we mean when we think of slope, and especially in context of something? What does slope really mean or stand for? Good job. It's our change. And that's important because it helps us remember, well, it's not just change. I mean, there's two different sets of numbers, right? So it's our change. How are we looking at the change? Good job. So we got to remember, just like our graph, it's the change in y over the change in x. Okay, got to remember that. Okay, so let's start there. Let's look at our change in y. Well, this is where our change in y is going to happen. We're looking at the y column. Oops. We're looking at the y column. Well, from 0 to 150, what is my change from 0 to 150? Good job. We're adding 150, right? 0 plus 150 is 150. And we can see if that happens again. That's just going to show us. So if we add what is 150 plus 150 again, well, that is 300. And that change keeps happening. So that's how I know that's what my change is. You're adding 150 every time. So my change in y is 150. Okay, now we got to find the change in x. Okay, our change in x will be over here. This one looks a little bit easier. What is the change in x here? From 0 to 1. Good job. We're adding 1, right? 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. So our change in x is 1. So we can simplify that. If m equals 150 over 1, well, that is 150. Go ahead and see if you can find the slope of your example.